Good morning everyone, hello. Um, I would like to add today a new player state, a new flag that you need to keep working. It's the hungry, so you need to eat all the time. It's more or less the same that we have been doing yesterday with this religion flag, and also the one that you have tiredness. The main idea for being hungry is not really like being a survival, so it's not planning to be hard to find food or just eating things, but it's more that I was thinking about consuming the things that you are producing. So I mean, if you are, for example, working on farms, you are producing vegetables or things like that, so the only way to uh, remove them from the game and you are not being completely rich after a few times is just consuming them. For example, selling them to have some money. With this money you can buy tools and everything like that, so this is one of the ways that you are selling the thing that you are producing, and for that being removed from your inventory. And another one is just eating. So as the game is just having this 24 hours cycle, makes sense, for example, sleeping and also eating, and or maybe even drinking. I'm not sure if I will add this one, but at least eating makes sense. Even not having really hard to find food, or you can eat at any time, any place, it's fine. But just consuming, so removing from your inventory things that you are producing and you are kind of losing after some time. So that's the way to be uh, reducing your inventory from the things that you are producing. And also if you need to spend them on eating yourself, you cannot sell them, so it making harder, or the progress of the game will be not so fast. So this hungry is just for reduce the items that you have or you are producing. So that's the way that it's not really hard to have this, and this is not being as survival. So you will not have things like I don't know, just your food is just being waste, or you are sick, you are eating things or things like that. So something easy that you are producing a few things and then you have some food. So for that I will do more or less the same that I was doing yesterday with this religion. So it's more or less the same. So we need to put this one a way to be increasing, and then it's decreasing after time is passing. And also we need to find a way to eat things. At this case will be an item on the menu, so over the item that you have some food, you can just consume this one, and you don't need special place like it was yesterday. I was just doing this one for religion, so you have a special place to do this action, like for example sleeping or crafting. So eating is just one option from the menu, and you can take it any place. You don't really need special place. Just to show what I was doing yesterday, I will just play and I will show you the icon that we have been using. Okay, it's going. Is it? Okay. So I was just changing this icon, so you have like a special icon for that, as you see. And rest of the things are working, so that's the only one that we have been missing. Of course I need to put something nicer here, but as you see here, for example, with the hands that you have for tools, for example, that you can put on your hands, or seeds that you have also, I'm planning to do more or less the same. So for example, in this bread you will have here a special icon that you can consume, so you can eat this one because you cannot put on your hands or things like that. So it will be easy to have like special icons for things like this, you know, just consuming or things like that. So that's the way to eat things, so you have in your inventory and then you are just eating from them. So this is something, I know, easy to manage, easy to do, and then you don't need any special place for those you know, consuming things. So this is one of the things that I have been doing yesterday, and I will do more or less the same for this hungry, and the same for this tiredness. So the first thing that I'm doing is adding to my player this variable, this kind of state of this. So here you have all the state variables, so I will add a new one that will be also a float because I'm planning to do from 0 to 100. So let's say this is hungry, and We'll move to state. Okay, so it's hungry, and I'm doing the same as yesterday. So this reset is going here and saying this hungry initially is 100. When you are starting the game at any time is fine. And what was missing yesterday was create this on charges or not, and have create a bit different, but it's not the way for the streaming to change this one. So okay, we have the hungry here, and we need a function the same as a religion or update. We will have a new one with this one will be the same at tidiness. So this at tidiness I will just duplicate and rename as at hungry. Well, in that case maybe the name is not the right one, because it need to be the opposite one. I mean, I'm expecting to be hungry 100% when you don't have it and not 0, which is more or less saying at tidiness. As you see here, that this tidiness is 100% when it's not to be when you are fully rested, it will be 100. So okay, that's the same value and the same thing, but will be working the opposite one as religion, just to be more the same for all of them. I'm just keeping like this. So but as you see, this is completely the opposite one. So hungry is expected to be 0 when you are not hungry at all, but in that case it will be 100, which is going to be like a progress bar or green bar. So I mean it's fine, but when just decreasing, it means you are more hungry. This is exactly the same with tidiness. So the progress bar is showing the opposite one, but the number is just managing the same. So okay, this is 100 also here, and what we need to do is just set this here. So this is just set here, and that's the value that we are using. Okay, so that is exactly the same as tidiness works, and just we will add this one that we will need later, but I will duplicate already. So update hungry, and that's more or less the same. So for that, what we need is, for example, here to see also that you have the value for when you are sleeping. For example, there's something happening, so we can check also when you are sleeping that this value is smaller, for example, so you are not so hungry when sleeping. And for that, what we need to do is, as you can see here, this -1 is exactly the same problem. I just here see this sleeping default values not this one. I could just even use this running to be increasing this hungry when you're running most of the time, but just to be something simple, not so critical. At the moment I'm not adding this, so the only thing that I'm doing is for that is increasing this one, which is of course not this variable. So I will create a new one, a new constant, as I did yesterday for this pray speed and then pray per second. So I will just duplicate this and say this hungry per second. I will not care about the value at the moment, so it's just fine to have some numbers, and I will just adjust later to be, for example, hungry after 8 hours or 12 hours of the day. So this is just a constant that we are using in that case. So here we need to use this const hungry per second, and that's the one that we are using. I will just remove this, and what we need to do is just taking this one according to this sleeping. So in case that you are sleeping, let's say well, I think we can do also this one. What is this? This. I will think about also sitting, for example, or sleeping will be not so fast when you're, for example, sleeping or you are sitting. You know, just changing a bit about the resting, and maybe I will have both of them. Okay, so I can just change this value, for example, here, and then this is the const hungry. Oops, I did a comment, sorry. Cons hungry is mine. Where is my constant? Save. Okay. Okay. Since that I was just doing undo and I was just deleting this one. Okay, so hungry per second. So we have already here the constant should have const hungry per second. Okay, so let's say that you are not sleeping, you will be like a normal one, but if you are sleeping it will be like small value. So this one is multiplied by the floor, and that case is something, let's say, increasing slower. So in that case we will multiply, for example, by 0.8, which means when you are sitting is not so fast. And if you are sleeping should be different value. So this one, this select will go like that. So this is coming here for that. In case that you are doing, for example, sleeping, I will do well, in fact I could just use number here because it's only one way going here, or when this falls, in case that you are going false, in case that that's true, you cannot be sitting and sleeping at the same time. So being here, you can be or not sleeping, so you take this one, this value, which is fine, or you are sleeping. In that case you need to take this value. For example, here you have 8.5 and then multiply here. Let's say that this is 0.5 in case that you are sleeping. This increase is really slow, so 2 times slower, and that's the value that we are using in the end. So oops. Okay, I can just adjust a bit better for that reason, but okay, that's the way for to be sleeping or sitting. Your hungry is not going so bad comparing with being, for example, wake up. So what we need to do here is add hungry and not this tiredness. So that's the amount that we are managing to increase, and then that's going here. So we have also this value that I was just checking here. For example, if you are too tired, you need to check this flag on the screen so you can see that you are really hungry. And in case that, for example, you are really tired, you will be just resting and sleeping, forced to be sleeping, which is more or less the same thing. So I mean, if you are so hungry, you should be sleeping, but in that case, for example, for tiredness you are recovering, because sleeping you are recovering, but during sleeping you are not recovering. You're hungry, I mean, shouldn't be. So in case that you are sleeping, there is no way to recover from that. So at the moment I'm not checking this one, but it could be good. I'll keep it here because I want to check this one in the future, having this information on screen also. And if I have time I will do today, if not I will do just out of the camera. But I mean, in case that you are really hungry, I'm expecting that you are just toggle on screen showing that this is saying I have for tiredness, and I'm planning to have the same for hungry. So okay, and well, the thing that I'm doing right now is updating from my menu. So I'm going to the menu and do the same that I was doing yesterday for, okay, what is mine, the menu, so the widgets and the menu. What have been doing yesterday was updating here this that's widget that we are doing. This is this widget play state. So for that, what I'm doing is just increasing value. So I will add new one just for testing at the moment. So this is not this, sorry, just text. So this is just text, and this will be a hungry. Just to see if this number is working, so I will just add plain text here. And what we need to do is on the function that, for example, this one update should be create anyone, will be update hungry, and from this basic update is just update hungry. Okay, and as you see, for example, here for the religion we need to have exactly the same. So in that case will be like that. So we take the player, and I will just replace all of them. So I'm taking here hungry value, and this is just converted to be text. And the text that we are doing, I think I forgot about this one being a variable. So this one needs to be a variable, and I will just say hungry, and that's the graph. And where we need to have these blocks. So that's the one being updated. Okay. It's okay. So the menu need to be will be being updated with our value. So just play and see what's the value that we have right now. Okay, I think that I have the same problem yesterday. I need to save, or I'm not sure about this. So it's kind of catching them. Save everything. Say compile. Maybe this one I need to refresh whole node. I'm not sure if this one is updating the widget that we have already. So let me see. I'm still not paying, so for some reason I have the same problem yesterday. I don't know why, but my widget was not showing until, I don't know, did something. I don't know what I did, and this one was being shown. So I don't know what the problem is, because I don't have any bug in my here. I don't see in the log any problem. So I don't know what the thing is. Okay, so continue with this one. We have read this information here for I remember what it was. Okay, this one. Okay, save, compile, and should be now being shown here. Okay. Okay, so you have here just as a number. For some reason it's not being updated this, but should be. So let me check what have been missing. But anyway, it's there already. Okay, so this one is not the right one, but this. Okay. Okay, so you have here this hungry, which is 100, but in case that we are passing time, if everything is going well, so let's say 1 hour have passed and should be decreasing, but for some reason it is not. So we need to see where the problem is. I think it is being here. This value needs to be minus, multiply float, and this is the value that's coming here, this is coming here, and this is the same here, and it to be -1, so it's decreasing. Otherwise it's just increasing and you have already 100, so nothing's happening. Okay. So you will have initially, I was just giving 100, but after some time will pass, for example, 1 hour. Okay, it's still not working here. Okay, is it being called? I know what the problem is, that we are not updating every time that something happens. I mean, when the time is passing, we need to call this exactly. We have here, because I have been doing yesterday, so that's exactly the same that we need to do. Is just this update hungry, here, and we need to pass the time, so the seconds have been passed for that. And this is updating our state. Probably I will just put all of them in a function, so you do like update player state. In fact, I will do right now. Update player state, because the only thing that we need to do is just passing a float number with seconds. This is float, and we will use all of them. So what we need to do is taking all of them, put here. As we are in the player, this is target, so we need to pass this, and this is just the seconds that are passing. So here the player will update all the internal state for that. So this one you don't need to add any more states. Okay, and what we need to do is just remove this and update player state. I'm passing this value on seconds that have been elapsed. So okay. So now every time that time is passing, you are increasing or decreasing all the player state. So let's see again, you have 100, and then just passing 1 hour. Okay, and you can see this one was decreasing, so yeah, it's going well to be in the end. At the end of the day, if we are just adjusting properly the constant that we have here, we'll have the value that's decreasing when time is passing, and what we need to do is give it a way to increase, which is just eating something. So for that, I will be eating, for example, this bread with some icons that I can just click, eat this bread, and it will be me, I don't know, 20% or 10% of the value here for the hungry. So it will be again, should be red one or green one, being according to this one. For example, as you see, the tiredness is just being also a number like that, but the progress bar is showing on the opposite one. So 100 will be 0, and 0 is 100 here. So tiredness is just being decreasing. Even we are using a number for that, which is from 0 to 100, and this is hungry, is the same number, but I will just change later the progress bar that we are using. So this is how the hungry is being modified every time that time is passing. So this is the play here. Here you are updating, but I will update later something nicer. We don't need the menu. Also the constants, for example, here you have this hungry. So hungry per second, just to be coherent with the names of them, and I think this is per second. So later I can just adjust all those constants to be well balanced the game. So at the moment it's just putting some numbers, and I will adjust later according, because I know about the time. So every second need to be I don't know, after 12 hours, I don't know how many seconds are them. So after that you have information for how much should be increasing or decreasing any value, and need to be adjusted very well. So that is something I'm not taking care right now when I have all the values all together. For example, the food that you are producing, how many times you can, for example, planting or achieving some many things. I'm just adjusting all of them all together. At the moment it makes no much sense, so I'm just using a constant, and I have place to change later, and I'm reusing this constant for that. So another thing is adding a menu, as I say, close to this icon. So as you click here, you see, let's change time today. You see that they have special actions for items that you have in your menu. So for things like bucket or just tools or seeds, you can put them on your hand and you can use them. So this is kind of icon for using them. And for food, I would like to have an icon to eat them. So what I'm doing is going to the item. In fact, so this is the item that you have with money, but you can have also this one, as you see here. So there are a few icons that you can just show in or not. So this is right hand, left hand, and I could add here a new one, a new icon that's being shown only when it's possible to eat something. So this is a button, I think. Yes, so I will just duplicate this, copy and paste. Is it fine? Okay. So just moving here, and by default should be not shown. Enable visibility. Okay, I can just hide later because I have a few conditions to show all of them or some parts, the icon numbers and things like that, according to where you are and which menu you are crafting. If you have, for example, the storage, you are in the market, or this is your inventory. So this button eat, that's fine, copy fine. And we need to check when all those icons are being shown. As you see here, there are a lot of conditions to showing icons, not icons, and so on. So it's a bit complex, but one of the things that I'm doing is, for example, here can be enhanced, will be visible, otherwise will be collapsed. So this is one for hands, that is fine, and what we need to do is the same for this button eat here, and you need to set the visibility for that. And this is coming from also the group of the item that it is. Let me check about this price and things like that. Okay, because I have also, as you see here, there are two different, completely different items. So this is one like a button item, and this is the image. So I have here just for the market, and this is for the, let's say, your inventory. Okay, so in case that you are in the market, you have all those branches, but if you are in the inventory, you are here. So this is only being shown on inventory. So for this button eat should be shown only when this product can be eaten, and for that you see here the category for that. So let's take probably this, and we can check later here. Reroute node. Okay, and equal enum, and I think what is this? And this is where you are. It needs to be menu. That's true. It needs to be in the menu. Otherwise, you are not showing this one. So this only menu. And also, we need to take a condition to be the item. For that, I have this item, and I can take the type, and the type can be, if I remember correct, well, this is spread and so on. So what I want to have is group. So get members, break item. I'm sorry, what I need to do is taking the member from this one. So this type, and then get members and this one. So you have the item that we are just trying to show in this slot, and you have the group. So in that case you need to have the equal group, and I have here you have food. Okay, so this is the another condition that we need to be matching. So in case that this item is food and also you are in the menu, in that case it will be visible, otherwise not. So just to reuse this select, and we will take this one. So in case that this is true, both conditions you are visible, otherwise it's just collapsing. So let's check this in a while. Okay, the editor is starting being really slow. Okay. So as you see here, you have this item here, the icon which is being managed. Of course, I'm just using the same icon like that, so you cannot see any different. But you see here, you have also this icon here. So what I'm doing is just changing to something different, so you can see that in fact this is being the right one. What is the icon here? Color opacity, normal. Yeah, I have a few of them, but let's say oops, I don't know which icon to use. Something small like item, that small icon that you see, that this is exactly the one that we are using. So here you see that exactly this is our icon. Of course it's not working because I need to create an icon for that, but as you see, this is the icon that we are managing. And for food you have this icon that you can just click and manage to eat something. So the first thing that I'm doing is this one will be hand left normal. Okay, and what we need to do now is when I'm clicking this one, something is happening. Okay, so this is the one that I'm trying to do. So on click, and then what we need to do is this on click. Okay, so when I'm clicking on that, I should increase the hunger number and delete this item from my inventory. So the thing is just taking this, and yeah, this is just check for kind of bug in some case. Okay, so I just duplicate just to be sure that there is a valid item and not just empty. That's fine. So in case that it is, what I'm doing is taking this type. I was just checking here for at least the player had this item, just in case. So I have a few checks here. If that's true, I should just increase this hungry. So let's get the player, get player pound, player pound, cast to first person character, true here, and then add hungry, and we can just increase value manually. That of course in the future I will just create per each item have different values for that, but just for testing I will just put a number which is just okay, 10 is fine. And then what we need to do is just player remove item by type, and this is the item that we need to do is this one. Okay, remove, and then we'll just this branch for in case that is not. I will just print string item not removed, just to see if this is working as we are expecting it to be. So pretty easy, just consuming things. Okay, play again. Increase time just to have this value smaller. Let me see. We have 93 already. Okay. Okay, 90. I will increase a bit more. Okay, 88 as you see. So the thing that I'm doing is consuming one of the bread that I have here. So let's say onion bread here, and then try to consume. Okay, and okay, so I don't have this item already as you see here, and this one have been increased, which is fine. But the only thing that we are not doing is updating, reloading this inventory. As you can see, for example, here, click. That's fine, you know, but I cannot see any update on that. So what I'm doing is updating here. After this one's happening is as well, I need to update my inventory here, and probably I need to update also the state of the player. Otherwise, this number about hungry is not being updated. But just try to do something. Okay, let me also check for set value that is smaller, for example 50, so we don't need to move the time on every test. Okay, the editor is going really slow again, but I'm afraid that just starting as was yesterday takes like 10-20 minutes, so I'm trying to continue with the streaming. Yeah, probably we need to restart. Yeah, we have a problem right now. Okay. Okay. I will try to restart this. Exit. Let me see how it's going. Should be just restarting in a while. This is not only the editor, but completely all the computer is really going really slow, and I can do almost nothing. Just clicking, it takes like 5 seconds every time that I'm clicking something. So need to restart. Maybe there is something on my blueprints or some of them that are having any problem, and it's just breaking or having any problem with the RAM. It's just to see there's just something happening that is just blocking completely my computer. After some time that I'm working on it, as you see, it's less than 1 hour. At the moment it's just 40 minutes, so after 30-40 minutes you are working on it, you need to restart, and then it takes really long. I'm really sorry, but I can't do anything on my computer. It's just clicking on things and it's not responding at all. I hope that at least the streaming is not lagging. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, so since that have been already finished this and I don't have the editor anymore, but this is just working. Okay, let's wait a bit until this one has been starting. Okay. I wanted to know what's happening. Okay. Where is my program? Hello. I have a few problems with my computer and it's just black screen at the moment. And I can't do anything, so I don't know exactly what the problem is. But this is just black screen. Good morning, Sankin Dev. I don't know exactly what is happening with my computer, but I have just black screen. I have also black screen. It's not about the stream, but I have black screen and I cannot do anything. My hard drive 100%, and I don't know exactly what is happening and why. There's nothing here, and I have lost also my menu, everything. So I'm not sure about what is happening. I still a bit waiting if it's just recovering or what is happening exactly. You cannot see even this screen. I see that this is almost so always working, but something on my screen is not working. I will just try to kill a few processes for some reason. If something's happening, okay, that's coming. It's okay. Trying to open again because as usual after some time working on the blueprints, I don't have enough RAM and everything is really laggy and it's in the end crashing. I need to solve this problem because it's every single day the same problem, and just starting takes like 20 minutes, which is really you cannot take this one during streamings. Maybe do I have some blueprint that have some problem, but I don't have any problem, any crash or any warning. Everything is working. The only problem is I don't have enough RAM, so arriving to 100% RAM, starting laggy, try to just restart the editor, and seems to me that this is just going to swap in the disk and takes like 20 minutes to start again. But so I'm not sure that the problem is with my blueprints or my editor, but more or less that we don't have enough RAM to run this. So that's bad because I cannot update this one anymore. This is just a laptop, so there is no way to increase the RAM or change anything. As you see, it takes really long to start for some reason. I don't know, and my level is really tiny. I don't know. Yeah, I can do nothing. I'm really tired about this. This is always happening. Losing a lot of time on streamings just for, I don't know, OBS. I don't know really what the problem is. Okay, for today I was doing this. I was doing yesterday religions, which is kind of value that you have, for example, tidiness and the religion. So you need to pray and go to the chart and things like that to increase this value. After time is passing, you are decreasing because it's some important part of living in medieval times. So you need to keep this one high all the time. And I was doing today the hungry, which is also a value for not really being a survival game, but just a way to consume the things that you are producing. So you are, for example, working farming and things like that, so you produce some food and you can sell this one on the market to produce money, and with this money buying tools, things like that, my CPU is fine. I mean, it's fine. The CPU is fine. The problem is my hard drive. It is just as you see, less than 1 megabyte second, which is really slow, and that's why it's taking so long to start something like Unreal Editor. But the RAM is fine, so it's not a problem, But my hard drive, this is the hard drive, and this is just taking all the time because it's really slow here. So just to start in the editor takes really long. Well, right now it's Unreal Engine, as you see here. It's Unreal Engine. This is the one that is taking here all the time. So you see, this is just Unreal Engine and nothing more. I mean, none of them is just using. The only one that is using is Unreal Engine. So yeah, this only trying to open Unreal Engine is taking 100% of my hard drive. Okay. And now it's just loading all the streaming textures and a few more things, of course, for the editor, things like that. I will just also close this one because it's taking some resource. Okay, so and you see, for example, here the RAM is more or less fine, so it's 72%, it's fine. But when I start opening the blueprints, it's just increasing to 8, just 100%, and after a few times it's just or crashing, or I need to restart. Trying to restart take like 20 minutes and so on. So the thing that I was doing today is adding this icon that you see close to the food, so you can consume this food. And you see here a few values that I was using. This is the religion, this is the one for hungry, just numbers that I'm just putting later with let's say like that, with a progress bar, nice one. So this one is when time is passing, So let's say that time is passing 1 hour, 2 hours. So during the time is passing, of course you are feeling more hungry, so this number is just decreasing. As you see here, this is as a region, so it's decreasing, and the thing that you can do is just eating something. So if I'm just eating this bread, should be just increasing here, as you see, or for example eating this bread is increasing. Of course the icon is just a hand, but I'm just planning to change later. This is how you are increasing how hungry you are. So just eating things that you have here, only food can be eaten. So it's just the thing that I have been doing already. And for example, this one is for prey. Yeah, just for testing. I put just here. So in case that you are doing that, you have this value here, and then you increasing, you see the progress bar increasing, the time is passing, you can cancel. So if I'm canceling here, you can see this number was increasing, and if you are 100, you can just already stop doing that. So let's say here, and that's all. No, just the number here. So that's what I was doing yesterday for religion, and I'm doing today more or less the same for this food. So here you have this hungry value, and as you can see, what I'm doing is just increasing to eat something, what I was trying to do before I need to restart. Okay, so what I was doing is item slot. Okay, and that's the one that I was doing. So just some checks, and then the player adding this hungry. At the moment it's just one number, but I will do this number, this amount is coming from which kind or type of icon. I mean this item that you have. So let's say some bread is giving more or less than any other product, or onions, things like that. So after that, just removing from the item and then just updating. This is just kind of debug message in case that something's happening, not doing well. Otherwise it's just checking everything, and that's working. I think that's the same code, but I will just reuse this anyway, because it's just all the same, just a few checks and then just doing that. Okay, so this is also working, so you can already eat some food. What we need to do is check about other items. So let me see if I can buy something from the market, and we can see any other items. So for example, here you have this radish, I'm not sure, an onion for example. Yeah, what the problem is that they cannot buy a new one, because this is plenty of things. So I will just sell some of them, and I'm doing some place. Okay, so we have now different items. So we have this onion and this radish. So for that, radish and onion seems to be category is vegetables, and I think that you can also eat them. So they're checking here about set slot, and this is the categories, which is the group for food, and also I will try to put here the vegetables also. So this is, or this can be both of them. So there are a few categories or items that can be consumed, and at the moment just putting both of them. Okay, I did the same with this, for example, coming hands, or this is the function I was using. For example, I could create a function saying here can be eaten, which will be easy for all the items, but just not increasing this complexity. Yeah, I will do this function, which since we will have common functions here, and for example for items you have can be in hats. For example, you see here this is one of the functions to be, you know, the same, taking all the members and then all the options that could be. So I will create a new one here that say is eatable. And what we need to pass is the item. I think the item type. So this is item type, and that's the code that we need to have. So this is the code that we need to put here, so we can increase later the number of options or variables that should be here. So this is one, and of course what we need to do is just output is eatable, which is boolean, and this coming from this value. So I can add new categories later, or any other conditions that I want to have here for food in case that I'm doing, and I don't need to change this one anymore, so I will just replace this function if I'm giving this one. Okay, so that's the one that I need to delete this one, and the members here also, and is eatable. Oops, I think it should be pure, otherwise I need to create a workflow here, which makes no sense. Okay, yeah, makes more sense here. Okay, so that's the condition for the product that we have, and I will try to do also now with the vegetables the same. As you see here, for example, about the RAM, I have consumed 500 megabytes just opening 2 blueprints, so that's why, I don't know, opening a few of them is just in the end ending all the RAM. Even if I'm just closing this one, they keep using this RAM, probably catch by this. So I will make some space. Okay, be able to solve them. Okay. Okay, so we check now, and you have also this icon, which is of ground at the moment, of course, but you have this icon for radish or onion, which is interesting. Now it's just eating something, and need to see if this is just removing, because I have 4 of them and 3 of them, so it should be interesting that removing them should be consuming only 1 of them. So as you see here, that's also working. So in case that I'm consuming more, should be just deleting this item. So this is also working for vegetables and food that you have here. And maybe I could do that you have already 100, that you cannot eat more, just kind of keeping your food safe if you do the mistake eating something, you know. And I don't want to put a message just confirming every single action that you have. So okay, in case that you are having this mistake, having already 100%, should be just avoiding consuming this. For that, what I'm doing is just adding here a new condition. So this is fine, this is fine. You need to have this item, and then the player need to be also under 100. So this is another condition here, and I will take this get hungry, and need to be less than 100, and this is just branch. And in case that this is less than 100, in that case something's happening, otherwise it's just ignoring, so you don't need to be worried about trying to consume when you are plenty of this number. So let's check how it works. If I'm already 100, I cannot consume more. So this is 50. I will just sell something. Let me sell this. Okay. So we have 50 at the moment, so just increasing. And you can see that's increasing, and this is taking. This is fine also. So we have already 100. Trying to consume this one should be nothing happening because you have already 100. So that's fine to keep safe your food in case that you are 100 makes no sense to eating again, so that's fine. I could even do some number like 99 or things like that, because otherwise if your food is just increasing at the moment, it's just a value, but they need to take from the item. In case that you are increasing, let's say the minimum is 1, makes no sense to consuming for like this one. So let's say for example 99 should be fine, or even 95 if you are just eating something. So just to be sure that we're just a few decimals, that's just also working. So in case that for example is 99.5, things like that, is also fine. So you cannot consume this one if you are not hungry at all, let's say. Okay. This I will just move this one here because you cannot see well where this one is coming. Okay. Okay. So that's Hungry House working with foods, vegetables and things like that. So I think it's more or less working. Of course, missing all the things that need to be nicer on screen and so on, but yeah, this is something like that, should be fine. Another thing that I have is when you are increasing this one, I think it's coming from the player. What is my blueprint? Is here? No. Okay. When you update hungry, which is more or less fine, need to be here in case that you are too hungry here, that you are showing at least this one. So in case it is here, let me see what it's doing. So high tiredness, I think this one is showing all of them. Yeah, let's try to do. So I would like to have the player state on screen if some of your levels is really low. So let's say for example something like being tired should be being shown here. It's just number I'm trying to do. As you see, this one is decreasing already, and you see it's already on screen. And yeah, it's just forcing to be sleeping. So as you see, it's just showing all of them. So I need to work a bit on it, just showing the one that the number is not going well, but not all of them. So that's something that I will do later on out of the camera, because it means takes time and it's not really interesting to see this one. And this is another thing that I was doing when, for example, you are sleeping or you are really tired, you are forced to be sleeping. I need to think about what is happening when you are too hungry, that you are, for example, sleeping also, or no, or you cannot, for example, running, or I don't know which one. So what is happening with this one, because I don't want to have that you are dying. So I'm trying to avoid that you are dying in the game, but of course you need to have some kind of penalty for not doing what is expected to be done. So in case that, for example, you are too tired, you are forced to sleep and you are losing a bit of time, or for example you are so hungry that of course you have some kind of penalty but you are not dying. So in case that is paying slower, or you are losing your products, or I don't know what to do with this one. I don't know yet, but should be kind of penalty for some reason that you are trying to avoid this one. And they say exactly the same with the religion. I'm thinking also what is happening with this level is so slow. That should be, I don't know what's happening exactly. Maybe just kind of they reject you on this town, and then okay, this is the end of the game, kind of this. But they are not really dying, but yeah, finishing the game. But I will try to avoid this. So you are playing, something's happening, it's going slow the progress, or you are losing a few things you have been already achieved, but you keep playing still, So I'm trying to find what is a penalty doing something slower or worse, but not really ending the game or just dying, things like that. So So I need to think about the penalties for a few things. For example, for hungry, which is not critical and not being, how to say, it's not a survival game, so you don't need to be worried about this all the time, but should be just kind of penalty if you are hungry, or most of the time you are hungry. But well, at this time you are expected to be hungry all the time, so the penalty needs to be something small, but maybe you are having this one all the time. For example, if you are too tired, you cannot work on farms. If you are too tired, you cannot run, for example. So it's just kind of forcing you to go to sleep. You cannot do much of the things. And maybe with being hungry, could be also the same. For example, you cannot. Oh, we can add this one. So you cannot, for example, farm if you are too hungry. So I will do right now this also, which is nice idea. So let me close this, and as you can see, even closing all the blueprints, I have already 7 GB, and it's not freeing this memory that I'm using. Okay, so action manager and things that you are trying to do. Okay, farming. For that you have environment and this crop, so can work, which is a condition for any plant that you have. Is okay, this can work here, this is fine, ready, but not this, not this one. Should be with my home garden. No, this is crop that needs to be. So the action, okay, here. So there's the action farm and execute action here, with this trying to the action is having, okay, yeah, so this is coming from my action manager. Okay, so when you are trying to do in that case, for example, farming, is taking this condition here. Let me see, what is this? Iteration, farm iteration. Okay, so here, for example, it's checking about tiredness. If you are too tired here, too tired, you cannot farm anymore. But I would like to add also the hungry that you are. And for example, here with tiredness could be also increasing. You are more hungry when you are working, or yeah, every time that you are trying to do things, could be increasing this hungry. And have the same here, like, okay, if this one is, let's say, too tired to things like that. And this came from first person, yeah. I could add exactly the same. So for example, the sleeping or farming you have here. So I will add anyone which is too hungry, too, and this is the same here. So I take the action here, which is action, okay. And the parameter is, of course, is too hungry. So I can control for some actions. You can do that when you are hungry or not, or how much you are. So in case that the action is, for example, farm, oops, equal well, but I will use the branch, so equal enum. So let's say we are trying to farm. Okay, farm. Okay, branch. What we need to do is just taking also the value. So we have this get hungry, and let's say, because it's just paying the opposite number that you have on this 100. So let's say 100% is not hungry at all, so this number. So in case that this is less than less or equal 20, which is kind of 20%, if you are hungry 20%, in that case you cannot farm, for example. So this one is true, and boolean here, and that is true. Okay, this is true. Oops, This is just the not one. So it's just kind of avoiding disable this action. So let's say that you are trying to farm and you are too tired already. So it will say this is true, this is false. So you are not able to do that. But I think it's the same that we have here. So yeah, in case that you are tired, say here hungry for example. So yeah, this is more hungry. So in case that you are hungry, you cannot farm for example. So also I can change the values here to say when you are hungry and for each action in case. Okay, so here we have the same. We can do from the player, we can do this to hungry, and should be the same like too tired in case that you are too hungry. I'm not adding to the loop at the moment. Anyway, okay, I think this is the opposite one. Okay, yes, this is the opposite one. Need to be okay. It's starting going slow. Yeah, my RAM is not. Okay, in case that you are, for example, and then you are doing this internal far end, you are too hungry to continue working. So kind of penalty that you are trying to increase with this one, you know. So I think I will go here, which is just checking, and this is farm action. What we will have is this come here. Yeah, this is just taking time. Of course, I need to do this. Oops, no, sorry. This one. I need to do, of course, this is nicer, and also what we need to do is when the time that you are farming your as you see here for the UV, you need to also add some add hungry, so you are more hungry during the time that you are farming for something. It takes free time. So this is time per second, so I will take this const hungry per second that I have ready. So this is another value for that. And anytime it's faster, so I will do, for example, something smaller, like because it's you are 2 times more tired working than just being normal one, but it takes, for example, it's increasing for a few numbers, not so much. So this elapsed seconds, this is the time that have been passed, this is fine. And there's the multiply, oops, elapsed second, so okay, so we are increasing this hungry during the time that well, I think that need to be decreasing. Well, I think I have been missing this one, so hungry need to be bigger the number, so in that case it's just being bigger than 80 to be like 80% hungry. And then in that case I think I need to change a few things, a few places. So for example here this hungry, this is fine, update should be, so I mean during the time is passing need to be increasing. Let me see, because I think I have been doing the opposite one. Hello. Okay, the first thing I'm checking that the time is passing, the number is increasing. You are kind of more hungry. So let's say you have 50, then something increasing for 1 hour. Let's try faster. Okay, so I'm expecting to be okay, increasing. As you see, you are more hungry, which is fine. This is exactly what I was expecting. And the other thing that I was doing with the food is just decreasing. So in case that you are eating or consuming something, you should be decreasing this value for your food. Okay, so this is more or less everything fine, and this is just checking for the time you are working farming you are more hungry, so that's increasing this number, and in case that you are too hungry you cannot work anymore, and this is everything is stopping, or if you are also tired. So this is just checking another penalty for being hungry, that you cannot work on places. For just checking this one, I will just I don't know, some of them that I could have. This one is fine, I think. So let's enable this one, and this is by owner by player, so we can work here. The first thing that we need to do is just planting. For that I have here for testing, I don't have this. Do I have seeds? Well, I have 3 seeds onion, okay. So I'm just planting this one. And what we're doing now is checking for this one is 50. So working on that should be, okay, working. And this 54, so you can see that this is increasing for some value. Even it's not being updated on screen, but should be, you have 58 already. So we can see that during the time that you are farming, your hungry is increasing. But just to be sure that this is just using this number and not just being the time is passing, I will do really a big number, so you will be really hungry until just after just 1 hour working. So I will just plant this, planting, check if this is 50, and then just farming for 1 hour maybe. I just see 66, so you see that this number is working as expected. So I will bring back this one. And the last thing that we need to do is checking about if you are too hungry. So for that, just for testing, I will start this value with a big number, so kind of 700. So it's easy to arrive to this 80%, and should be we meet this option, this menu that I'm so hungry I cannot work anymore, and then stopping what I'm doing. The same as tired, but in that case is checking for hungry. So just planting. As you see, we have already 70, so farming, which is fine. We have 74. Okay, so we plant anyone. Farming will be 78, I think. Yeah, exactly. Planting anyone on farming should be okay. As you see, you didn't finish this one because it's just you have more than this number, 80. So this is as you see, it's just kind of penalty, so you cannot farm or worm if you have this number, high number, you are really hungry for that. For example, this is one of the things that are just giving you a penalty, and I think I will do also, for example, running, you are like 90%, so I will just also add this condition for running. In that case, the checking for running is here, if I'm correct. This is running. What is running? This is run here. So this is just checking for example, this one, this is the stamina, and you have, for example, here also you are too tired to run here, and that's exactly the same that we need to do. So I will just add this one here. I will do nicer, but just at the moment for something testing fast. So this is coming here, this is coming to the true, and the condition that we need to do is just get hungry, and it will be probably the same, 90% is fine. So you have more than, in that case 90% should be another penalty that you cannot run, so you are too hungry to run. Well, yes. So yeah, I will do nicely later. And for that, I will just put the value something bigger. Okay, so I will just do already 88, and just allow me running. But if passing, for example, working in farms. This is too much. So okay, play. Check that we have already this 88 value. Okay, so I will try to do is just running. As you can see, I can run at the moment, so it's just running is fine. I will increase the time a bit, and I hope that it's just being, the number is 100 already here, so you can see you are really hungry. And if I'm trying to run now, oops, low. Okay, it's not working. Okay, what is not being checked? It's going well. If this true is going here, this is more than 900. This 90% should be here. Okay, this one is less than this one is going to run. It is more than this one, should be here. Seems fine. Let's try again. I will just put the number already. Okay, so the number is 92 and I can run. Let me, I don't know what the problem is, but I will just check here. This branch, I want, sorry, it says that it's not passing to this way. Is it being connected here? Let's just assume that it's not. Okay, all this code have been moved to another place. I see. Okay, that probably was kind of start running, stop running. And I have all the check-ins here, for example, has stamina, not too tired, and so on. Okay, I see. I should remove this one. Okay, and it's just adding a new condition here, which is this one. Yeah. So, and say here, not too hungry. And what we need to do is just get hungry. Value here. We'll just keep this 90% also, and the message that we need to change is just to hungry. Okay, and try again. Okay, so we have 92, so it's working. As you see, you cannot run, so this is another penalty for being hungry. You cannot run, you cannot work on farms, so it's just giving you the option to be trying to be healthy or not so hungry all the time. And I could add in the future maybe more kind of penalties for being hungry, being tired, or for example about religion, things like that. So yeah, this is another thing that you can just manage. Okay, so just value here. I will try to restart the editor now. This is again going really slow. As you see, it's not completely 100%, so I hope that this is going faster. Just to restart this, save all. Usually just restarting is going well, it takes, I don't know, a couple of minutes or even less, but if I'm not arriving to this 100, otherwise it's just going really slow. And seems to me that it's going slow at the moment, so let me check this and to see how it's going. Yeah, since going well, and a couple of seconds will be there. Yeah, exactly. So the moment is fine, and we can already restart, and it takes a few seconds. So seems to me if I'm not arriving to this 100% with before, will be working as is this working when I'm just doing not online. So it's fine. Hello, my computer. Okay, that's going well. In the meantime, I will start a build that I have maybe 2 or 3 days ago, so we can just see the game, the time that it's taking this. That's the same problem as before, that my hard drive is 100%, and I cannot do much until just waiting for that. And again, black screen. Yeah, this is a laptop. Okay, so that's fine. I just, for example, it takes a bit of time to just load all the texture streaming. Yeah. I know that 8 gigabytes is not a lot, which is more or less fine working, but the thing is just trying to streaming and then having, for example, this OBS, music and the editor and everything working on 8 gigabytes is of course not enough. Even my level is really small, as you know. It's just small level, it's not like big open world, and I'm just really adjusting a lot about all the textures that it's using and so on. But anyway, 8 gigabytes is maybe not enough to work with all those things, you know. And for some reason, as you see, the blueprints are just taking more and more RAM, but they're not free in this one. So after a few times, I need to just restart and everything's fine. I mean, it's only problem with the RAM. I don't have any warning, or for some of the blueprints are not working. I can compile, everything is working. The only problem is just increasing the RAM until I need to restart. That's the only problem that I have. That's the only thing that I have. The rest is fine, so I'm not trying to find where the problem is with my blueprints or things like that, because there is no problem really. The problem is about the RAM. I don't know, or something is just I'm thinking about the editor, the Unreal Engine, is just keeping the undo operations, so all those things that I have been doing, modifying and changing, so it is taking a few RAM, you know. I don't know how many hundred of RAMs, but it's taking some RAM, so I'm just restarting and everything is fine, and nothing is being broken, or for example my blueprints giving me any warning or not working or problem compiling. So everything is working until you arrive to this 100 RAM. That's the only thing. That's the only problem that I have. So just checking about the okay. So you see, this is the only problem that is using the hard drive. This is only this one. As you see here, this is just Unreal. Okay, so it takes not much time if I'm just doing before 100 of my RAM. Okay, so works fine. It will take a bit of time just loading a few things. Yeah, well, I need this is one of the things that I need. I need more RAM and SSD. The problem is that I have the hard drive is even 5400 RPM, so it's not even fast hard drive. And this is SATA 3, but it's taking like 20 megabytes a second as a peak. So I'm not maybe seeing more than 4, 5, 10 megabytes a second at any time. So yeah, the hardware is really slow. That's why it takes a lot of time to do any single things. I know that's this is my problem and this is from my side, you know. But if I cannot buy this one, what can I do? You know, stop doing anything or just I don't think so. What I have is just external. Yeah, I think it's faster. What I have is just external hard drive USB, which is going more or less almost same speed, more or less. But the problem is that on my motherboard I have this 100 megabits speed, so everything that need to cross for this motherboard, for example the hard drive or the USB or any other thing, it's having this maximum 20 megabytes a second for speed. Even if I'm trying to do, for example, 2 or 3 of them, all of them are kind of colliding on the motherboard. So I have 10 for hard drive and 10 for the USB, so I cannot really like multiply both of them or 3 of them, you know. So the problem is my motherboard is not going faster, and doesn't matter what I'm doing, adding, putting a new thing. So probably even buying SSD, I'm not sure if it will increase. Probably it will, because for example you have less time for accessing and things like that, but not like being 10 times faster or things like that. What I'm doing is using RAM disk, which is this is going really faster, but the problem is that I don't have enough RAM. So doing hard drives on RAM goes faster, but I don't have enough RAM for any other thing, so this is not really solving. But for example, if I'm trying to compile a few things, I put a few files or the source code on RAM disk, and this is going really faster. So yeah, so the problem is not my, for example, my CPU, which is just kind of waiting for that. The GPU is not fast, but I mean it's fine for me working at 10 frames per second or 15 frames per second. That's fine, you know, it's working fine, it's not a big problem. But the hard drive is really slow and I cannot do anything about this. So yeah, this is what I have. And even for a long time I was not even streaming because my computer is slow and things like that. And in the end I say, okay, it's better streaming slow than not streaming at all, you know. So I hope that people understand that this is what I have and it's better than nothing, you know. That's what I have, and what can I do? So there's nothing more about this. Yeah, exactly. So in 2 or 3 years, when I finish this one, I will buy a computer. Definitely. Yeah. Should buy a bit before, just trying to, you know, doing something faster. But well, at the moment, I'm happy that at least I can do things, you know. Maybe there are other people that don't have even a computer, so I'm happy that I can do things. And streaming is fine at the moment. Also, internet is fine. I have really good internet, so I don't have any problem with the internet at the moment. Well, I have like small technical demo, which is just for testing. It's fine, but I would like to have a few more mechanics and part of the story that I don't have at the moment. So I was just creating like a demo mission, which no sense at all. But I would like to have like a few steps on the game already, and then I don't know, trying to maybe, you know, make some money or trying to move this one, sending to some people that they can check. At the moment, there is no real demo that you can check, so it's just more or less like 90 builds that people can try, but it's not really being a demo that people can try and take the real, I don't know, taste about the game, because I was just creating a few demos and you have a few random gameplays or random mechanics that you can try, but it's not really being like a small part of the story. That's connecting dots, things like that. So I'm not sure how far I am, but I think I will be like 1 month more, and after that I will leave. I don't know how long, because I really need a job already, so I will just leave from my home, going to maybe another country and trying to find a job. So I will kind of leave for some time, I really don't know. And yeah, I hope that in a few months I can take back this one. I will just try to keep as much as possible, but I'm not sure how much do I can do. Like for example, doing everyday streamings. I'm not sure if I will be able to do streamings every day, or maybe only during the weekends, things like that. So yeah. So I'm not sure how long I can keep as I'm doing. I mean, at this pace, it's fine. I'm not planning to be 3 years more, but if I'm stopping, of course, yeah, then yeah, it can take as long as you want, you know. But being like now, yeah, could be maybe, I don't know, 6 months more, and I will have something that people can even play. Because as you see, it's of course not done, but well, at least you have some buildings, you have some mechanics, and you can already do sleeping, farming, crafting, selling, and buying, you know, a few things like that. So it's just even having a few animations. So even for example, for the trees that are really bad and just placeholders, but anyway, you can play. Or for example, all the players that are just being done with a fuse and mixamo, that is also placeholders. But at least you can play, do something, and I can keep doing things with this placeholder, which is fine. So that's the thing, that if I'm starting a job, it's not just starting a job, it's that I need to move my country, going to another place, and I don't know if I will have good internet or not. Or well, I have GitHub, but I have my own server, so I have, yeah, I'm using GitHub, but it's not a public place, you know. In fact, I don't have much code, so I like maybe 50 C++ classes. The rest of the thing are just blueprints, you know. And yeah, yeah, I'm not. I'm just using GitHub for all my. Yeah, but you have like only one project until maybe 1 GB. So yeah, you can put the code there, but nothing more. Because of course you cannot put all your textures and things like that, you know. Yeah, that's not the problem, that I have another server that I'm just putting there all my things. Yeah, I mean, for the code is fine, but I mean, I'm keeping everything, all the textures, blueprints, the maps, levels, and things like that. So I'm also keeping all the PSD from Photoshop. That I'm doing a lot of things like the logo, icons, and things like that. So yeah, but it's fine. I have my own server, which is not at home. I mean, it's on internet, where I have my website, and I have also GitHub and a few more services there. So I'm just doing using AirSyncs, using every day for making copies for everything. So yeah, I'm not so worried about the laptop. So I'm creating a copy every single day, but this is not making my computer faster. That's fine. So yeah, I have been using GitHub in my server for many years already, and I have a lot of projects there. So I'm just keeping them, and also I have like bots for things or any other services there, because it's just only it's BPS, but it's only mine. So I can just put there many other things, like, I don't know, FTP on web. I have also, I'm using this fabricator for the project, taking all the tasks, things like that. So that's fine, but it's not helping with the development. I mean, it's just, that's fine, but not increasing my computer or my RAM or things like that. It's just making a copy for that. So that's fine. Yeah, yeah. Of course, I'm using, keeping yeah, keeping all the every single day. I'm doing this copy just in case, because you know, having a laptop is something is broken, just burning, and then that's all. You know, with a normal computer, you can try to replace the hard drive or things like that. But here, if it's not working, well, it's almost hard to open it and buying a new one, and you know, that's the thing. I have been. I was working with web development for some time, so and I had for maybe 10 years, 15 years, so I was just keeping a server for people, like for example my own mail server. I have also spam machine, I have also file to bank, I have a lot of things working as DevOps for many years, so yeah, keeping my projects there is just easy, you know. Well, I'm not doing much. I mean, I was just doing all the base classes for C++ that I need from time to time and just modifying them, you know. Yeah, exactly. I was using also in the past this Amazon Web Services, and I'm mainly using for clients because you need to pay for the minutes that you are using in case that you want to have this 124 hours. It's not so good idea, you know. Well, I don't know. You can find servers on the internet that cost you maybe €5 a month, so like $5 a month, and they give you like 50 gigabytes and sometimes even 100 gigabytes. So which is really a lot for projects, you know. So that's fine. That's why having this unmanaged server is giving you a lot of options. You can install everything there, all the books you want to have, uh, any other tools, and yeah, a lot of space for your projects or things that you need to have, you know. Yeah, so I don't care about space for backups. Even they are giving you options for just backup and not really a server, and you pay really nothing, like $3 a month for 100 gigabytes, things like that for backup. And Amazon is also giving you options for just backups in case that okay you need this one, and you can use for example this STP or FTP, and you can use under SSL, so you can put your rsync under SSL or using STP to update everything, and that's fine. That's good. That is really cheap to keep this one, or as you say, even for free you have Dropbox. You have some accounts, for example, with this Bitbucket, and you have also Google giving you Google Drive giving you a few gigabytes. Also, I don't remember. So there are a few places that are giving you options uh, to store a few things. Or for example, even GitHub, if you want to have like a personal one, you can keep for really cheap. If you don't want to have all of them as public, so you can keep private for maybe $7 a month, things like that, and you have everything like GitHub, you know, all the options, and you have the keys and all the repositories that you want, and you have the space and things like that. So yeah, it's really cheap. And I'm talking about even particular people at home. I'm not talking about companies that they are really cheap for companies, you know? But even for people at home, it's really cheap. So it makes no sense to keep all those information in your computer or making backups at home. You know, you can just keep all of them. This is easy. Okay, I think it's time for today. Have been already 2 hours. So if you want to say something more or have any question, or I don't know, any part that you didn't say, you are new, the first time coming, uh, just let me know. Otherwise, I think I will finish here. I will come to work again as every single day. I'm not sure I will do tomorrow. Maybe some modeling because I'm missing a few models, but or maybe I will do also as today gameplay with blueprints. But I don't know. Or if you have any suggestion, I can also change to this part. So I think I will finish here the streaming. If you don't have any other question, thank you everyone for coming. Sangin Dev, thank you for coming. Also Duraido. I hope you are streaming soon, and I will join you to see how it's going with your things, you know. Yeah, that's great. So if you are just streaming on C++, it will be very not so popular for people streaming on C++ because it's be boring checking others just coding. I can understand that, but of course I will join. I agree. I'm trying to do both of them at the same time, not to be so boring or like all the time coding or all the time modeling, you know. Just how you feel like okay, creating a few models, doing some gameplay, and then maybe some lightning and so on. So just jumping from this task to another one, and then just not being so boring doing exactly the same all the time. Yeah, but it's good. Okay, so I hope that you are progressing. I will just join you like when you are streaming. So for the rest of the people, thank you everyone for coming. Hope you enjoyed or learned something. I will be streaming tomorrow again at the same time. I hope to see you all here. Thank you everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.